Welcome. And welcome to the show. I'm your host, Joey Wabbs. That's Mr. Link. And this is WabbsLink's episode, I think 26 at this point. Welcome to this is a great show for Link. This is one of the shows that have kind of given us the vindication that we've had over this team and the way that we've talked about this team since we started this show 25 weeks ago. So ever since really Chelsea versus Liverpool, I said that you guys were going to win the title.
Credit to you.
And I mean, that was over 20 weeks ago. So we're like, well, game weeks, of course, but we're in a scenario now where Liverpool are what now? 13? You have 13 points lead?
13 points. We played a game more, but yeah, 13 points. And
okay,
that's nice.
Yeah, and their game more is against us, which I have a good feeling about actually. So,
it's funny how that works.
Bro has. I'm gonna kind of give you the floor. I don't think we're gonna talk too much about like our teams overall. I think the best thing that we can do is talk about probably transfer targets in this show at the end here, because I don't think we're going to be spending too much time on these games. So, floor is yours, Link. How'd the game? You had Newcastle, an Isak-less Newcastle. Luckily for you,
yeah.
And kudos to you. Hey, that's a great way of being able to take a team out.
Yeah.
How did you think of the performance? It's Szoboszlai is looking like he's hitting the right form right now.
Yeah. Very important and crucial time for him to do that. Before I go lauding about my guy, the performance was good, but it was so obvious that it would have been a completely different game with Isak. I mean, just the chances that Wilson had, not just in the first half, but throughout the game, you could tell they were missing Isak, and you could almost bet on Isak to bury, if not two of those opportunities that Wilson had. So I think we were very fortunate that Isak didn't play, but we also still have to beat the team in front of us. So we did that, and going into the game, big up B. And going into the game, I was confident solely because we don't lose against Newcastle at home. Like, we don't really drop points against them at home, and at this point in the season, we're starting to see the principles of Slot start to outweigh the principles of Klopp, and you saw that in not just the Newcastle performance but the City performance. We do what's necessary now. We can turn things on. That switch that you alluded to at the beginning of the season. There is that switch if needed. But I think the beauty of what we're trying to do right now is to not need that quote unquote switch to win games. So I'm happy. I'm happy.
I also, Slot's giving people the idea that this, you don't actually need a striker to technically win in this league and to score in this league. Also, it's how you're balanced. It's all about the balance of how you play. You could play anybody who is a distributor and the striker. Anybody when you got Mo Salah on the other side and you got Gakpo on one side and Mo Salah on the other, or Diaz on one side and Mo Salah on the other. You could play anybody that's a distributor. And Slot realized it. He also has realized that he could play Szoboszlai up there because of his pressing capabilities. And his capabilities of being able to cover ground, and he could have a rotating striker, which is something that Chelsea has taken into consideration now. And Pedro Neto has been playing rotating striker with everybody around him, and the last few performances has looked very good. To be honest, if you want my honest opinion, Maresca has probably taken a couple pages out of Slot's book in the last few weeks, based off of the way that he's progressed, how the ball's being progressed in the area where the ball is being placed, and how he's pulling players out of position to be able to get Neto in that wide area the same way then that Salah is. So it's actually like it's funny that we watch this guy do this over and over and over again, and nobody pretty much outside of Chelsea, right? Because Chelsea, the one thing that Chelsea did really well was it covered the midfield gaps with their midfielders rather than having their defenders get pulled out of position all the time. It was mostly defenders defending attackers, but in every other game, bro, Salah had that opportunity because Szoboszlai was just pulling people out of places
left
that
and
they
right,
did
bro.
not want to be, bro. They just did not want to be in the same area, those areas, and it ends up costing them in the big time because Salah always finds the pocket where the ball ends up needing to be. If not him, but being in the pocket, he draws in two people, and then a goal like the one with McAllister happens where he draws in two people. He's like, oh, I can't shoot this with my left, but I got someone to my left.
Yeah.
So
waiting for a ball. Yeah.
That's literally what it was. It's like it broke for the McAllister goal. He got the ball in the pocket. Two people collapsed on him. He's like, I can't shoot this with my left. Here comes McAllister. And on the late run, McAllister runs up into the late run. He just hits it to the side. Solid GNA again.
Yeah, and it's like it's funny watching it, and the Athletic posted a chart on it today, and it really made it clear from a visualization standpoint. But one of the things I've enjoyed watching is the inevitability of some of our attacks, not all, because I do get upset at Szoboszlai for not taking his chances, but I like the inevitability of the ball. If someone's driving from the left, they're driving with the intention of forcing that back line back. And then Salah is just waiting in the space that they're leaving and vacating, and he's just always at the top of the 18 because the left back can't afford to not drop with the center backs, and there's someone driving with whoever has the ball. It's very
that's my opinion on the difference between Gakpo and Diaz is where Gakpo wants to be is in that pocket. Where Diaz wants to be is he wants to drive into the byline or he wants to drive onto his strong foot. Like he doesn't want to sit in that pocket and create like he wants to either get to the byline or he wants to get inside. That's why it's more than likely like which I think you said as well. Gakpo is your starting left winger from it, period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's no he's probably going to be the one to have to raise his workload once Salah leaves. So, I'm sure Michael Edwards will find another pocket player that is just as good in the pocket. I mean, not going to lie, there's some names I could throw out there for you, like Kubo plays really well in those pockets.
Too small.
I mean, we said that about Salah, though. You said too small?
Yeah.
I mean, we said that about Salah.
Does Kubo have that top end pace that Salah has?
No one's gonna have the top end pace. Well, I mean, the top end pace, I don't know, but my thing is it's gonna have to be a collective, regardless on what it is.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about that now because you're right about the collective thing?
Yeah. Yeah, we could talk about it now. What are you thinking? Like in the grand scheme of things, right? Let's just say, for instance, the two positions that you lose are Salah and Trent, right? Let's just say, for the sake of our conversation, that's the case, okay? What do you think is next movements in like those areas? Like, what type of players do you think that are going to be coming in for those areas? And also, I'm going to give you the opportunity to speak on striker as well.
Well, I'm glad you said the last part about strikers because I think it's all intertwined. I think when Salah leaves, whether that's this summer or next year, it's going to change the entire, scope, breadth, whatever you want to say.
It's going to change the way you guys play.
It's going to change our entire way of attacking the ball. So if Salah leaves, you have to recreate those goals. And so you can't do that with a winger that were like the wingers that we would be targeting that fit Liverpool's like model of recruitment aren't Salah type wingers. Not in the sense of like being able to improve, but from an output standpoint, you're not just going to be able to buy someone that fits into our models because they're going to be too expensive, right? So there's that. So you have to leverage the fact that you're probably not going to want to spend.
And by the way, I'm glad that you're going in this route because I do want it to be realistic and not just like,
yeah, exactly.
What left field option are you going to pick? I mean, dude, to be honest, if you want me to be a realistic option, the closest thing that you can do is buy Rodrigo. Like that's probably the closest thing that you could do is buy Rodrigo from Real Madrid.
If we were going to spend that money, right? And so if you say so, there's two ways to go. You get a Rodrigo, and then you spend 40 mil on a striker or forward hybrid, right? So I saw like Rodrigo and Pedro. João Pedro. You could try that.
Yeah, I like that idea, João Pedro. João Pedro is actually the model of striker I would think you would go get.
Yeah, and I mean that's kind of what we've been saying. Can create their own shot, is good on the ball, isn't, weak in the air.
Physical enough to be able to handle the league.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's that. You can go that route. Another route, if we are rumored.
Yeah, he's a backup over in Brighton right now. Reuter has taken the spot right now.
Reuter and Welbeck still playing a lot. So exactly.
Yeah, Welbeck's still playing as well. And Brighton, they don't mind selling. They'll just buy another pro player.
Correct. So you have that angle, or you have the Brian Mbeumo angle, where Mbuemo's definitely going to leave.
Name. That's a good name.
He's going to be 60 at most. It'll probably be less because it's Brentford, and they negotiate with us pretty well, I feel like.
I think it probably would be 50-ish, somewhere around there.
So you say 50 for
probably around 50.
And then if you're not full of shit, and I'm talking about FSG, you go get Isaac.
Yeah.
And that would be the more.
I think it's more likely you get a Pedro than you get a Isaac. I'm just gonna be.
That's fine, but for me,
like you get probably like here's my opinion, right? You'll probably get like I still believe that you'll go to the Dutch league. Okay, like I still believe that there's probably something in the Dutch league, like Johan Bakayoko.
I think our winger might, yeah.
I think like Johan Bakayoko or something like that makes like all the sense in the world, especially the way that he's playing at this current moment. Like I think that that's probably like most likely scenario. Like if you told me if you did like Mbeumo Bakayoko for your right wing to replace Salah, and then you go buy João Pedro as that like third attacking option to replace Nunez.
That sounds like a realistic window.
That sounds like a realistic window for Liverpool after that. Like because I don't see them moving on from Jota. Like, do you expect them to move on from Jota?
The injury record, bro, is
I know, but do you expect them to move on from him is the question. Like there's a difference between like understanding that he has to move on, but do you think that the club is going to move on from him?
This is my thing, right? Nunez has been the
big up, Hooks. Nice to see you, my G. I appreciate you coming on, my man.
I think it is frozen or asleep.
Big up, Lewis. Thanks for coming. Yo, you good?
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, so I'm down. But yeah, no, I'm good, man. I'm good. What did you say? Sorry.
My boy was stuck in again.
He was stuck in a loop, son.
Yeah, no, I'm good, man. I'm good.
Bro, it's late over there, man.
It's late. I appreciate you coming on, Hooks. I appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah.
So Hooks, we just talking realistically, like we kind of already know where the season's headed, like overall. Like we're just speaking on Liverpool right now. And like what that window would look like realistically, like if Salah was gone, if Salah and Trent were gone, that's like what we're speaking on right now. I'm just having we're just doing a little bit of brainstorming on some players that they may be like a realistic window for them. And I want to do that with you too, with Arsenal. I want to make sure we do a realistic window for what it would look like for Arsenal after the end of this season, pretty much. So Lank, to kind of get back into it, right? There's only I also could see like a Cunha type player in there to play striker, but I just don't know if that's where this all goes. João Pedro, as soon as you brought the name João Pedro up to me, it felt like that felt like the right person at the top, up top for you to guys.
And it fits the MO because we haven't heard too much fuss about it, but it also fits the description of transfers we've made in the past. He's also at a club that we don't mind doing business with, and a club that does put release clauses into their contracts. On the other end, especially now that Hooks is here, for me personally, I don't necessarily want Isak because it's Isak. I would rather Isak be bought so that Arsenal can get Isak.
I just don't think Isak don't go anywhere.
That's fine. If he doesn't leave, that's fine.
Just
but
the
I'd
most
rather him
realistic
go to
answer
Liverpool
to
than
Isak
Arsenal.
is he doesn't go anywhere.
I don't know, man.
That could be the case.
He has to. Isak would have to be like, I want to leave for it to.
I think he does want to leave.
I don't know about that, bro.
I think if they get Champions League football, he'd be more than happy staying at Newcastle. Personally,
dude, even that too. I think even if they get a Europa League spot, like I could still see him being around.
I think Cunha would be probably the best type of striker for Liverpool. Like, go back into that like Bobby Firmino energy, man. Like a 9 that can just like hold up the ball, link up, like good with his feet, good technically, like gets goals here and there, but more of a facilitator. Help your already high scoring winners score more goals. Like, I don't know. It depends, innit? Because if you get rid of Salah, then maybe that opens up doors.
Yeah.
But I still think, right, looks. I still think like then it goes to more of like a Gakpo-centric team, the way that he's been scoring goals. Because he has a lot of open play goals right now. It's not like he has like 8 or 9 open play goals too right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what the thing is? Like, it's like, does Gakpo do that while having the pressure on him? Like right now, he doesn't.
That's also a good point. Like, does the magnet of Salah open up so much space for Gakpo on the other side for him to be able to score those goals? That's a very good point.
So yeah, I don't know if you, like in my opinion, like if Salah does leave Liverpool, then I mean they have to go for Isak, innit? Like, I don't know who else you really go for. Like,
you need that star power there for the goals and the magnetism that you always preach, Joey. We need someone.
Unless you're gonna go get an Mbappe, then do you know what I mean?
I gave up that dream 4 years ago.
I'm gonna throw a little bit of an Americanism in here now. My problem with it is that when it comes to FSG historically, when it comes to their star players, it doesn't necessarily always come from a place of I need to buy the star. It mostly comes from the place I need to build the star.
Yep.
And that's a historic thing with FSG. And it goes all the way back to their baseball teams. Like when we're talking about like the Mookie Betts of the world that just won a World Series. And then what's the other guy's name that I forget his name, who also won the World Series? They were both playing for the Red Sox. What?
Euclid was there for forever. I can't think of the guy you're talking about.
But the Dodgers, they both played for the Dodgers. And when it comes to like the Bogarts. Yeah, well, when it comes to like the big players, it's normally they want to build their big players. I don't think they own the Celtics, do they?
I don't think that knows.
I don't think they own the Celtics. Yeah. So I think the other one is the Bruins that they own. And it's always been a building thing with them. So I don't know. I think it's more likely that they do get three young players. Like I could see like a Mbeumo, a Bakayoko from PSV, and João Pedro or Cunha, one of the two, like a João Pedro or Cunha, like one of the two players.
Mbeumo would be this is the thing, like,
or the other name I could throw out there is Kudus. They could go and get Kudus for that right hand side.
I would say. Even with, do you know what the thing is? Yeah, with players like
Kudus hasn't had a good season this year, though. That's the only thing.
Yeah, no, but the problem with players like Kudus, Mbeumo, even Wissa, as good as these Semedo, like as good as these players are, they don't play for teams that have pressure on them. They really don't. They don't play for teams that have pressure to actually win things. So You don't. I
But
don't
I
know
mean,
how they will, like. I don't know if you could say
the
okay,
real name hooks, right, that we came up with originally before you came in was Rodrigo. Like if they were to go get Rodrigo from Madrid, like it would be okay. They don't necessarily need to do a whole big full change on that.
I don't even know if not even Rodrigo solves the Salah problem, because Rodrigo doesn't have to play with the pressure on him, because look at everybody around him. Like when he comes to Liverpool, he has to become.
I mean, he's played with the pressure on him being at Madrid.
And
there's still pressure playing at Madrid, regardless if you don't have the name.
There's
but
pressure,
it's like shared pressure, isn't it? It's like shared pressure.
That's
because
true.
It's like, I've got Mbappe and Vinicius and Bellingham.
I just don't think the thing is I don't think there's any one man that can replace what Salah does, regardless, unless it's really unless you say Mbappe, really, right? Like
and so like with Isak, like is the step up from Liverpool from Newcastle, is that such a big step?
No,
because like the way we're talking about it, it kind of seems like performing for Liverpool week in, week out would be this grand, expectation. I don't think it's that much. And even if it is, who are the other players that can be got? Because we're saying we might not get Isak. Who is this player?
I think so. So like any of these right wingers that we've mentioned, they can't just come in. It has to be them and Isak.
Yeah,
like it can't be them and a João Pedro or.
But
them.
that's where I expect it to be, though.
I mean,
that's what I expect it to be, Hooks.
It has to be them and an Isak. Like, because
I feel you, but I just know how FSG is, bro. It's more than likely going to be like that, like what I said, a Pedro and two wingers that try.
Even though Salah's not leaving this year, but I just wanted to entertain the conversation.
Yeah, sure, we'll see.
I don't know if he is
Van Dijk are saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't want to say. You could say that. I know Van Dijk's staying. You could say that, but when there's the amount of money that he potentially could get from being in Saudi Arabia, like it, and he could leave Liverpool on the high that he's on, like there's like no wrong answer for him at this point.
Oh yeah, at this point, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so like I don't want.
That's
why I say I don't know. I believe if he does stay, like I could believe it, right? Like I could 100% believe it.
I think he gets a year because he wants the record.
But that's my thing, Link. That's my problem. Is I just don't know if he takes a year contract, right? That's the whole thing. It's like a player like that who came off a season like that. You think he's just gonna take a 1-year deal like that? No. It doesn't make sense to him. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense to his family. Like he wanted, like he had the opportunity to leave last year to go to Saudi Arabia, I'm sure, for a ton of money. And they're probably giving him they're probably throwing 25% on top of that at this current.
I wouldn't be surprised if Saudi went to Salah, look, just run down your contract and you'll get even higher wages. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, you think about it. If we're talking about from the Salah standpoint, if everything goes to plan with this season and he rides off in the sunset, he's going to ask for more money after that Ballon d'Or. He's like, yeah, I'm about to.
But that doesn't matter to Saudi.
It doesn't matter to Saudi. None of that matters.
I know it doesn't matter because he's going to get as much money as he wants, but I'm just saying it can even go higher.
He's getting $1 million a week. We're talking about $1 million a week player in Saudi Arabia.
If anything, Mr. Link,
that's all I'm trying to say.
You don't want Salah to win the Ballon d'Or because if he does, he's going to be demanding FSG more money.
Yeah,
but this is my thing. FSG put themselves in this position. I don't have remorse for FSG. Like they put themselves in this position, and Joe knows. I'm not upset at Salah. I think Trent's being a bitch about how he's doing it, but I'm not upset at Trent in the sense that they waited too long to get these contracts even started to negotiate it. So.
All I'm saying, Link, don't be surprised if it's 1 out of 3. That's all I'm saying. Don't be surprised.
I won't be surprised, and I think that it will be more than fine because I think our recruitment will be great.
I'll be real.
Okay, let's do the same thing for let's go to Arsenal. We'll do Chelsea last because I know everybody got to go, and Chelsea's not that important because I talk about Chelsea on my channel all the time. So Hooks. I know you guys have had a couple pretty rough results, right? I don't really want to talk too much about that. Like you've talked on every single channel and your channel about that. We know where the title is, where the title is going. I want to speak with you, one, about what your expectations are for this PSV tie, and then two, same kind of question. What do you expect? Like realistic expectations for the window. So PSV tie.
I expect us to beat PSV. Like, I'll be real. Like, I know that right now it looks like, you know, we're probably not gonna get a goal from anywhere, but I just think that's being hyperbolic. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Arsenal are obviously gonna score another goal. Like, Arsenal will not go the remainder of the season until Martinelli and Saka is back, not scoring a goal. Like, it'd just be stupid to think that they would. That's the
Could I stop you? When are those two back?
Apparently after the international break.
Okay, cool. Just like our players.
So the thing about the PSV tie that gives me a lot of confidence is the second leg is at the Emirates. So
okay, that's big for you guys.
That is huge. Okay.
So all we really need to do is just focus on not losing the tie in the first leg.
Yeah.
Which I don't think like, I'm not underestimating PSV. I know they're having a pretty good season, but the one place where I put a lot of faith in my team is my defense.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's the one. And I'll be so honest, if the players crumble and like lose that mentality against PSV, we don't deserve to be in the Champions League anyway. So like, it is what it is, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, PSV isn't a team that should be making you scared. Like, cool. When you're playing Real Madrid or Bayern or Inter or Barca, I understand, or Liverpool, I get it in the Champions League, but not PSV. Obviously, no disrespect in it. Big up all my Dutch brothers out there in the world, innit? Yeah, get high every day. Yeah, you know what I mean. But now on to the.
Yeah, so just a little bit of news for you on that PSV tie. Just because American, obviously, are the two American boys play for PSV that are big contributors are both out. Pepe and Tillman are both out for PSV. So it's really like the Bakayoko show over there right now.
It's Bakayoko
you lock
and Lang.
up Bakayoko, like it's
Noah Lang, baby.
Noah Lang in it.
I will be watching this tie because I've been chatting a lot of shit about this tie.
Noah Lang, I love Noah Lang, bro, but without a striker, he's not as good, bro. When he doesn't have a striker to come play off of, he's not as good, bro. Unless they're gonna play De Jong probably then, right?
It is De Jong.
De Jong.
It's De Jong.
So like, I mean, that's a veteran
He's a box
striker,
present,
bro.
Yeah, I'm not. De Jong's not gonna cook or something.
You can't sleep on a veteran striker in a tie.
My hope in a hater way.
De Jong versus Gabriel, and so can we be serious? Like,
yeah, I'm not worried about that. He's just going to be there to occupy them.
Bakayoko's right wing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, Skelly's gonna lock this brother up,
no,
man.
No, Skelly is not locking up
Bro, the one thing I don't want you to do is underestimate that player. That's the one player in that team that you cannot underestimate, bro.
Bakayoko is different gravy.
I think you'll have Noah Lang in a good spot because I think Ben White's
He's a pace
back.
merchant.
You got Ben White, you got Timber over there. Like, unless you, I think if you played Timber left back in that game, I wouldn't be surprised because it would be the smart move to play Timber left back because that's locking up Bakayoko.
Wait a minute. Wait,
bro,
you
Skelly,
it's not against. It's not. We're not.
Bro.
Hooks, we're not being shameless, bro. Just we're just talking about the game. You don't have to.
Wait,
not against MLS.
Wait, but you, man, want me to be concerned about a winger, that has 2 goals in the Champions League.
It's not his goals.
It's not his goals.
But he's going up against easier opposite. He's right-sided, which means he has to deal with Skelly and Gabriel. Gabriel's been arguably maybe even my best player this season. Maybe my best player.
That's
up there with TP. Up there with TP.
Up there with TP. Like, what, bro? I don't like, bro. If he said to me Rodrigo, then I'm like, oh, okay, then I hear it. Or you know what I mean?
It's the situations.
Like, but
No.
Bakayoko.
I hear it. It's the way the game's gonna go, though. Like, you guys are going to get the respect you deserve from PSV. So you're gonna have the ball, and then if your attackers can't figure out how to put the ball in the back of the net, Gabriel and Saliba will be forced to go higher up into possession. Then you're gonna be playing the high line that Saliba, not Gabriel, Saliba can't deal with very well. So my fear is if it becomes a track meet, whoever you put at right back is losing to Noah Lang.
I mean,
And
I don't.
Timber's having to track back,
But
Bakayoko's gonna cook him.
ball always starts exiting to freaking Bakayoko on the right hand side, and the switch is on. The switch is on to either the fullback to the winger or the fullback. That's how they exit the ball. That's how they got Juve. Like Noah Lang is just a sprinter towards the goal in the end. Like he's not that good one-on-one. Like you can shut him down one-on-one. But if you let him get space, that's when he's going to be dangerous. He's Garnacho in essence, bro. He's not that good. Okay, like Bakayoko
he's
is
better
the
than Garnacho,
creator.
in my opinion. But
Without Tillman, they don't have another creator. It's just Bakayoko. That's why I say you shut down Bakayoko. They don't create anything. They literally
this Saliba highline thing is a bit overcooked as well. Like that's far from out. It's a bit overcooked.
it's one of my agendas.
Game plays
it's
out,
one
right?
of my agendas. Saliba highline and Declan Rice is a center back.
Yeah, it's a bit overcooked. But
so we don't have to do this right now.
Yeah, I'm not worried about. Well, this is the best way to put it. I don't fear PSV, but I do respect them. You know what I mean? Like
that's
especially considering like Arsenal's a team that in Europe we've gone out to like the likes of Lisbon, the likes of Olympiacos, the likes of Villarreal, a Bayern that weren't too great. And then I mean, if you go back into like Arsenal's history, like there's loads of like times we've gone out in like the round of 16 in the Champions League, the quarterfinals, not always to good opposition as well. So like there's all like Arsenal, like we're not one of the teams in Champions League football where people don't try and get at in it. Like, you know what I mean? It just is what it is. Like, we're not that scary in the Champions League to teams in it. Like, we're respected because we're Arsenal, and obviously they would have seen how good we've done in the league over the last few years, but like people don't look at us the same way that they look at like Real Madrid.
This is a tie though where Skelly could not Skelly, what's his name, and where he could shine, bro. Like he's gonna get
Ethan could definitely cook.
If he can just, I mean, I rate the guy so highly. It's just like it's unfortunate that now it's like full reliance on him right now, right? Like that's where it's just like it's unfortunate because I really rate the guy. I don't rate I rate a ton of the players that come out of your academy. But like that guy, that kid is like just special. So like when I watch him, I'm just like, you could even, I think something that should be tried out is Nweri 10, Odegaard 8, Declan Rice 6. Like I think that has to be tried out. And it sucks that you don't have a right winger that you could try this out with. But
between now.
At this current moment, you can't do it with Sterling. So like,
but like that midfield doesn't work because Rice can't play 6, bro. It's so obvious. I want to.
It has to be tried, Link. It has to be tried.
I want to talk.
Link. It has to be tried.
I want to talk about this, but after I just want look before you get upset with me about the Rice comments. My dad made a good point to me on our own personal phone calls. Does it look like Nwaneri is a bit of a one-trick pony trying to get his left foot off?
No, not to me.
No.
It looks
that's
a little
just because he's playing in the wing, bro. When you play in the wing, that's what your options are. You don't have another option to go inside to pass to. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna try to get on your strong foot and shoot. Like that's
it's not even that. I've seen him drift over to the left and coming on his right foot. Like he's both.
No. But I'm saying when you're watching him right now, Hooks, because he's playing on the right wing, that's what his option is. It's not necessarily like. It's not necessarily. It looks like it makes him look like a one-trick pony because there is no option to go in when you go down the byline. He's not capable when he's capable of crossing it to who? Like there's nobody there.
That's people may have that opinion on Nwaneri because the same people that have that opinion on Ranieri have that opinion on Saka because it's systemic.
Well, I don't.
Like,
Okay, I get that. I didn't want to cut you off, but yeah, I get that part. That's systemic. However, Saka isn't a one-trick pony because he has developed foils to the moves that people like to criticize. Saka has like 3 or 4 moves now that he can do off him appearing to cut it on his left. That's why he skins so many people.
Yeah, but Ranieri skins people as. But what I mean is like when you watch. So it's a current.
It will develop, bro. It will develop. He's 17 years old. It will develop. You just let him do his thing right now, bro. He's so good on the ball. Let him do his thing. Like, let him be free. Don't let him. Don't tie him up.
The problem. Arsenal isn't in that position to let him be free.
Because Saka always, to me, Saka always had that move in him. It was like a restriction from him that the coach wanted to go down the sideline.
He didn't always have that.
Saka didn't always play this way. Like Saka didn't actually always play this way. But
I think he had the capability of being that drag back player to go back onto his right and being able
he had to develop that move, bro. He was never doing that as left back, bro. You got to remember, he's just a really good left back.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when he started at winger, bro. I can't believe I'm defending Arsenal fans right now.
No. You need to.
No one's criticizing Saka.
No, because you disrespected Saka a lot right just now. You say he's a really good left back. Just play winger. By the way,
that's what I'm saying. I'm not even trying to do that.
I didn't. There's a game. Elite winger. He's an elite winger.
Yeah.
Don't discredit.
There's a game. I can't remember the specific game. Yeah, I'll have to find it. Yeah, but there was a game. I think it was either under Emery or it might have been in the first season with Arteta. Saka played in the 10. My God, had an amazing game. Because these people don't understand yet. Saka's actually a baller. A lot of the things that you see Saka do, he can do more, but he's limited by the system. This is why I say for our wingers, it's a very systemic issue. Like, more often than not, whoever you see play on the right, whoever it is, they cut in onto their left and they try and cross it into the box. Like, that's just how we play at the right-hand side as well. They do it. Whoever's on the right, they cut in onto their right and they far post cross is what we do. Looking for that Havertz back post run. Do you know what I mean?
Bro, Hooks, this is my biggest worry about when we bring in the kid from Brazil is that we turn him into a systemic winger. Like that. That's my biggest worry about him because he is lightning in a bottle. Like, I just need him to get the opportunity, lightning in a bottle, and I hope they don't turn him into I don't think that will happen at Chelsea because I think Chelsea, your players, at least your wingers. To me, it looks like they play with like a lot of freedom. Personally, they get the opportunity to create. Let me just put it that way.
So,
as long as they're direct, they get the opportunity to create because you get like if you watch Nani Madueke, he gets one-on-one opportunities. But to get back to your team, okay.
In terms of like transfer window, it's very difficult as an Arsenal fan. Well, in my opinion, to comment on the transfer window, and that's because like we still don't know who's going to be our sporting director. I feel like a lot of the business that we do in the transfer window will be guided by whoever comes in as our sporting director. Like, for example, I imagine if, say, for example, Campos comes in, he's going to take a different approach to, say, Alabe comes in. So what
was the names? Let's go through the names then for that real quick. I'll bring up Orenstein real quick. Because we did get names today, right?
Yeah, there was a tweet that had names. Hooks, I don't know if it's going to be today or some other time, but we have to dissect this Rice dilemma.
There's no Rice dilemma. There's no Rice.
There is a Rice dilemma.
You know what the problem is? Like the people in football discourse now, they believe that unless you're 6 players like Rodri, they're not a 6. That's just what it is.
But this is my thing. The way you guys play, forget about Rodri and Man City. The way you guys play, Rice cannot play your 6 the way you need him to, and that's why Partey plays
anyway. More often than not.
I do think that there is a balance issue when playing Rice. If you played him in a pivot, it would be more beneficial to him, just based off of the type of distribution that the team needs. It would end up being just a more beneficial situation for you guys. But you playing him in like a double 8 role and having him be kind of box to box, it just kind of limits
works
his
to a
best
point.
attribute. His best attribute in duels. I feel like it just limits his best attribute in duels. So like in playing him in a single pivot is just, in my opinion, not beneficial to the team. But that's just my opinion. I think he still can be a 6 or an 8, but it has to be in a pivot and not a 3. Like that's just the
He can't play lone 6 for
balance has to
Arsenal.
be.
There's too much pressure on him.
I don't know about that, bro. We could talk about that on a different day, but so I'm pretty sure Jason Ayoto is he's in Spain. If someone in Spain, I know we know who Dan Ashworth is.
Jason Ayoto is the current interim sporting director at Arsenal. He was Edu's.
Oh, he's your sporting director currently. Okay, so then it's Andrea Berta is the one that's from Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
Roberto Labe is the Sociedad.
Yeah.
And then Thiago Skurlo's Monaco's current director.
Monaco, yeah.
So
you got to go for the last two, Monaco or your boy from Sociedad.
Apparently, we're talking with Campos as well, and PSG. And apparently he's game.
I think he's trying to get a new deal, bro. If you want my opinion, he's just trying to get a new deal.
Yeah, I think he wants to get out of. I would take Campos in a.
I mean, he's the best. He's arguably the best sporting director in world football. Arguably,
a heartbeat.
Richard Hughes, baby. Richard Hughes.
Low. I mean, to
me, it's either him or Monchi are the two best in world football.
I don't know why Monchi
is Monchi.
I don't know.
Monchi's at Villa.
Who's the Brighton dude?
I don't know. I don't care about Brighton. I don't really pay attention.
I don't think Brighton's been built that well, to be honest.
I know it's not Hughes, but no funny shit. If he has a good window next year, you're gonna have to put Hughes in that conversation because this Bournemouth team is spicy.
That is actually a good point.
I do hear it. But
there's some good scouting in that Bournemouth team. I can actually hear that.
So here's the thing, yeah. I think I don't know if all of these people would. So here's the thing, yeah. This is the big thing, yeah. Whoever comes in as the sporting director, are they going to have more power in recruitment than Artel? Because if they're not, then it doesn't actually matter who we bring in. Because everyone's going to do a poor role. Because
agreed,
they're just being Artel's assistant in it. But if the person that comes in is got their full responsibility, accountability for the direction of recruitment, then that's where it becomes a bit more like important for Arsenal in it. Because if Ito is your sporting director going forward, I don't know what connections he has, if any. He was Edu's assistant. I don't know who he knows. Edu was shit.
So if it's Ito, that means Arteta is your sporting director.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But then if you, for example, you bring in Andrea Berta, cool. He's Italian. So I know that he knows Italian football. He's worked with Madrid.
Also in Spain.
Yeah, I know he knows Spanish football. So it's like, cool. I can kind of have a bit of a understanding of where you might look for players. Like if it's Campos, I know that you know the French league. Well, Campos, you know all of football really well.
Yeah, he got all football. Like
so it's like cool. So it's like I'm starting to think, okay, the type of players that can start. As a fan, I can start looking into like the agents he's connected to, who they work with. You know what I mean? Who's on their books? Like Campos, his phone book is crazy. So it's like anyone's possible, innit? Olabe, I know that Spanish football. It's a wrap. I know, like I'm now looking at. If Olabe is coming in, he's probably bringing Zubamendi with him.
Yeah,
maybe even Kubo. So, do you know what I mean? Thiago Skura, I'm thinking
that's a nice window.
You've worked with
Alacucci and Ben
Seguir and please do not get those two. Those two are ballers.
So it's like I'm like, cool. You know French football very well, like, and I think he's Argentinian. Cool. You know, you got a view on Argentinian football because obviously you're a national. So it's like, could Thiago Scuro potentially find me the next Messi? Do you know what I mean? Like, so, do you know what I mean?
All
It
right,
really
let's do an exercise with you because we got like 15 minutes left for both before we got to end this thing. I want to do a quick exercise. And Link, you can answer these questions too, because I do think that you guys have some similar positions that you would take yes or no. So, striker is obviously a position you both need.
Yeah.
And a winger is a position that you both need. Yeah. Potentially a midfielder and like a midfielder, rotational midfielder is something that you guys will all need, both of you.
100%.
Right?
For me, it's definitely a 10.
Yeah. So like, I mean, so let me name some players in those positions.
To be fair.
Let me name some players in these positions. Okay. You say yay or nay. Okay. And you say yay or nay because good fit, not a good fit, or you say yay or nay because the sporting directors would do something like this. All right.
Yeah.
So first name that I'm going to list off, we're going to start at Bournemouth, and we're going to go through a couple players at Bournemouth first, okay? Because I know you the Richard Hughes link and all that, but I do think that Arsenal will go to Bournemouth for a player as well, because I do think that team's going to get blown up after this year with Areola probably being.
I think Chelsea are going to hunt them as well. I can't lie.
I know. That's 100%. I think they're going to get picked off. That's what I just said, because I can tell you that I will say yes, yeah or nay on some of these as well. So first name that I'm going to bring up is Justin Kluivert.
Nay. No,
yeah.
Folks, I do think Justin Kluivert would actually be a fit for you guys. That would be the one that I think.
Kluivert is screaming purple patch to me. I can't lie.
Link?
Yeah.
You'd take Justin Kluivert?
Yes.
Okay. I think Justin Kluivert would also be a good fit for you because he has the physicality to be able to play the 10 instead
Dutch
of
as well.
He's Dutch, but it's the fact that he's played in the Prem now for 2 years, and I don't think Slot wants to figure out, because I think the Chiesa transfer is going to really play out, and where Slot's not going to try and get anyone outside the Prem that he knows can't handle the physicality. He won't. I don't think he will.
I agree with that. I do think Justin Kluivert's a big option for you guys as well. I'm gonna say we'll go to the next player, Semenya.
Yay. Can play left, can play right. Just what I need.
Nay.
So, nay for you.
Nay, because of the style of play that he is as a winger. I think is more about beating his man. It's more beating a man than to get something out of his dribbles. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna say yay. I think we need a little bit more experience overall, and his Premier League experience would be very welcomed at Chelsea, personally. But that's just my opinion at this current moment. I do think he has the work rate, and the physicality to play in this league. So I would say yay, but he wouldn't be my first option. Okay. Here's
Say it.
No, I'm trying to think of a player that I had a couple players in mind that I kind of lost my train of thought. If you got a player in mind, go for
it. For the questions, I have all the players because I love
go for it.
Team. So if you want to stay midfield or defender?
Midfield, because most of us need midfielders. Defenders
Alex
is like
Scott.
me.
Alex Scott.
Nay.
Yeah, he's on it. Nay.
Nay for me. Alex Scott actually would be a good fit for them.
Yeah, I think I would
Alex
take
Scott
be a
can
good
play
fit
8 and 10 for you
Yeah.
guys.
I think Alex Scott is a baller. I can't lie.
Yeah, me too.
I would take him.
Okay, so Alex Scott, and then aren't we missing a winger? No, Brooks just got back. He's not going anywhere.
Nah, not even Brooks.
I wouldn't take him. I wouldn't take him anyway.
Yeah. No. Let's go. Let we could go. I kind of know the answer to this one already. Cunha.
Yay. Just yay.
Wolves Cunha, yeah.
Immediately,
yay, but I don't want him as a first option because I think the whole Cunha can be the next Bobby thing. it isn't the same.
Oh,
Bobby's
here,
much more
there's the names
selfless.
that I was thinking of. That's the name I was thinking of.
Who?
The lap.
Yay.
No.
What? He would actually he would actually suit the way you play so much.
Yeah, I know.
He
Suit
would.
everybody. Actually, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
he would actually really
You-
suit.
you
It was
think
actually
so?
like
But I say no because I don't know what's happening. So are you saying yes with Salah or yes without Salah? Or are you saying yes altogether?
I think either way, to be honest.
Yeah, I think well, obviously, I don't know if Salah goes. I don't know what direction you'll go in, so it's very hard to say without Salah. So I'm just gonna assume
Yeah,
Salah.
I hear it. I don't think Liam Delap is the striker that can. Not that he has to do this. So the problem I have, and I'm kind of gonna backtrack. Delap can't produce the goal that Cunha does, and I need the next striker to be able to produce the goal that Cunha does. Even though I don't want Cunha.
But you don't want Cunha.
I know.
So
I know.
Well,
I know.
you're a
It's
weirdo,
weird.
bro.
I am a weirdo, but like the striker that we need, it has to be able to do that. So maybe I just want Cunha, and I just hate that he scored against us a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Maybe that's what it is.
maybe.
But so maybe that's okay. Maybe okay. You guys shade on mine. I want Cunha as my striker. There it is. Cunha's my striker.
Jao Pedro.
Nay.
Nay for me as well.
Yay.
He's got injury problems. He will cost way too much for his output.
Let's just say Hooks, he's 60 million because that's my expectation.
Yeah, like I think that's what do you know what it is? Yeah, I even think the price tag for Cunha is too high. But Cunha, for me, it's different because I just love Cunha as a player in it. Like,
Solomon, don't say the name that I was going to say next. That's the next one I'm going to say. All right, Mateta.
Yay.
Yay.
He does nothing for my team. He does nothing. Like
Could be
he's
you
a
man's
great
next
finisher.
Emil Heskey, bro. Could be you man's next Emil Heskey, bro.
Who's running off the ball? Who's running off? So Mosalai?
No, Mateta's a
Mosalai gonna get Hey,
Yeah,
so
Mateta's a
Mosalai's
monster,
getting 40 GA next year? Is that what you're telling me? Or are we finishing in sixth?
No, Mateta's a baller, man. He's a baller. He'll score bare
Mateta
goals.
is a baller. Just the system. There's no system of slots that I see Mateta being the guy like, yeah, I need that.
Link, this one's more for you because it's a left back link. Because I don't need a left. I don't really need a left back, but Leaf Davies.
Ipswich.
Yeah, the thing it's not the player. It would be the intent and the statement made behind the signing, right? So like if Leaf Davies is the icing on the cake, right? And we're like, yeah, and we got a savvy buy, Moneyball, you know how FSG rocks, Michael Edwards. It's the next Andy Robertson. That's cool. But if it's like you can't throw that at us and make that the biggest part of me. It's like, oh, it's another cheap buy. It has to be on top of other things. So like if I got Hato and Davies, yes. But if Davies is the only left back I sign, or the only person with the possibility
that Hato,
of
I
playing
don't
left
know
back,
how much they're gonna want for that fool, bro. They're gonna end
Right,
up wanting
yeah.
a fucking big bang for that fool.
Well,
So,
I
want
want
big bang
Piero.
for that fool. Son.
I want Piero. So like if it's just Davies that
Dude.
comes in and Robertson's the backup,
that's the other thing. Like we could go into thanks, Link.
But
we could do that next.
I want Dean.
I think we did enough Premier League players.
I want
let me
Dean.
do some other ones.
Pause. But I want Dean. Give me Houston. What are we doing? I've been twerking, glazing. I've been doing the Dawn Y Scout thing on Houston since we've met, Joey. Give me Dean.
I know. I mean, everyone's gonna want the kid. I'm just gonna be honest. There's gonna be five.
I don't want him. I don't want him.
I know that you don't.
That's fine.
But
that's fine.
Who knows, Hooks? Don't speak too fucking soon with your center backs, bro.
Yo, you sell Saliba for 200 mil, 150, and you go get Houston and say what's good.
You know what I'm saying?
And then you can go get Isaac. And then you can go get Isaac with that money. You sell Saliba.
I just don't know if you get. I don't know. You probably get 100 million for Saliba.
You get minimum 100. I know 150
and
is crazy.
And you can get Houston for 50, and you can spend all the rest of the money on whatever you want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's.
I'm just saying that. Don't speak too soon. That's all I'm saying.
I'd rather Bastoni personally.
Even
Yeah, but
still,
Bastoni plays
left.
left.
It wouldn't work.
And
It wouldn't work.
Saliba's on the right.
Centre backs, in it. You know what I mean?
Nah,
Not with Arteta. Not with
I don't
Arteta.
believe in this left foot, right foot rubbish, man. Like, bring me
But your
Bastoni.
manager does. Your manager is
Fair
adamant.
enough. That's how you feel, bro. That's how you feel, bro. I ain't gonna. Hey, I'm just saying.
Okay, sorry. I got a little excited.
What about Boniface?
Yay. Bring Nigel link up, Boniface and Bukayo. Let's go, man. Yeah.
Niger. Yo, if Victor ever decided to come to the Prem, I would be devastated because I don't think we'll buy him. But Victor is a striker that can play that position because Victor likes to drift out wide. Victor's
Wait,
big body.
there are Victors that play up top that are good strikers, isn't it? It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, there's 3.
There's a lot of players in that team that could be leaving after this year.
Yo,
Yeah.
this is
Lookman.
Leverkusen.
Thank you, Logic. Lookman.
No.
Yay.
That's my number one choice. That's who I want. Number one choice at winger for me.
By the way, Lookman's better than any left winger that you have right now, Mr. Link. Just what I put out there.
That who has?
You think so? Before I'm not trying to. So he's better than Gakpo.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me why?
No slight to Gakpo, but he's better than Gakpo.
But tell me why. I'm not disagreeing with you. I just want to know why.
I think he's better. I think he's a better finisher. I think he's a better goal threat. I think he's got quicker. I think he's quicker. I think he's much more of a threat. I think he's better at 1v1 scenarios. He's done it on a bigger stage.
I think they're pretty.
What bigger stage?
To be honest, I think they're pretty equal levels.
He won his team.
But I rate Gakpo very highly. But
I rate Gakpo like. I'm not saying it's a slight to Gakpo. I just think that
sure.
I'm just trying to figure out why you think that. You know, we can all have different opinions. I'm not even gonna try and do this. Thank you for saying that. I didn't agree with some of those points, but that's a different thing. I think Lookman is better than Diaz. But also it's not necessarily about quality. If you've noticed about all the people I'm looking, it's not necessarily about quality, it's the fit in the side. Like your teams need a Lookman because Lookman is going to look to be that guy, look to get his own shot off. Like, I don't need a Lookman unless Salah leaves. And even then I'm looking for a completely different profile of striker. Back to what we were saying 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So
Depends on how you want to play after Salah leaves.
Yeah.
But I still think you guys played a similar way, but it's just not going to be as conducive to one side. That's all.
We'll see. Hope we have a striker that we could rely on, but
you guys taking Osimhen?
Yay.
You guys know I'm the Osimhen man. That's my
I see Napoli, Osimhen, and I just wonder, like,
if it was up to me, just get both of them.
I can't believe
he's always in on goal.
I can't believe there's people out there in the world that don't want him. I'll be so real. I can't believe
it. Yeah, me too, bro.
I don't get where that narrative ever started. I really don't. I popped on YouTube one day and people were saying Osimhen is a stat merchant and he doesn't know how to finish.
He's top, in my opinion, he's top 5 attacking instinct in the box, in the league, in the world.
But he's had that for the last 4 years. And people just act like
in the box is top 5 in the world. That's my opinion. It could be top 2 or 3.
I agree.
In and around the box. But that's the reason why he gets to miss so many opportunities, because he's in and around the box and always finds himself on the ball.
For me, and this is my personal opinion when it comes to Arsenal and the striker. I don't need a striker who's gonna like convert a high volume of chances. I need a striker that when I need you to score that one chance that changes the game, you're capable of having that level of clinicality. That's all I need in it. Because Arsenal don't have a goal scoring problem. Like we're like the 3rd, 4th highest goal scorers in the Premier League. We're like one of the maybe 3rd highest scorers in the Champions. Like we don't have a problem with
timing of goals.
Yeah, the timing of goals is very important for me. So
yeah, no, I agree with that. Well,
that's the biggest thing about Salah. when we lose Salah, who's gonna score those goals that need to be
Yeah,
decisive?
no, like
Because
that's
Salah
why
hasn't
it's
developed that.
Link. That's Link, bro. That's why to me, there's the most interesting windows. If I were to rank them from 1 to 10, like from top teams for me, the most interesting windows for each team in the Premier League, it goes United, Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea. Like our window, like our window is not going to be interesting. Like I could probably tell you what our window is going to be right now.
I think it depends if you get Champions League football or not. I think if you get Champions League football, I think you will spend a lot of money.
Hooks, even if we get Champions League, it's going to be the same fucking window.
No, I think
I can tell you right now, Liam Delap getting fucking Houston if we win the bid. That's pretty much it. Like that's my opinion. That's the 3.
I don't know. You know, I think.
What were you saying?
I think if you lot get Champions League football, I think you'll go big.
Well, I hope so. I hope you're right, bro. I do hope you're right, bro. I hope we go and we get we go back for Osimhen. That's my opinion. We go back for Osimhen. Go get his Niger brother from Atalanta, and then we find a big signing for center back. If it was me, I would go get Bisek from Inter. That's what I would do. I would go get Bisek. He's like 24, 25. He's already won a title.
He's a good little player. He's a good little player, though.
Yeah. But, hey, Hooks, I appreciate you coming on, my G, every single time. We'll have you on again. Link, I know you are out. You got to take it to work. Everybody, you know, we leave you with Kobe every single time. Hope you guys have a great night.
How much more do you want from me?
More.
How much more successful do you want me to be?
More successful.
How many records can my records break?
More records.
But I'm the best.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
What the f does that mean, Kobe Bryant?
You're welcome.
What the f is he talking about?